welcome to the very first Lessons with Liv, where I give you my advice on how to be a more fit, healthy, happy, busy working woman. Now, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and so you don't miss a single Lessons with Liv, make sure to subscribe to the new channel so you can get the Lesson with Liv weekly. Today's topic is managing your blood sugar. Now, most people kind of have a general gist of what your blood sugar is. Your blood sugar is essentially kind of your body digesting food and managing the energy in your bloodstream throughout the day. A normal bloodstream kind of has pretty natural ebb and flows, kind of up and down. Certain parts of the day you're lower, certain parts of the day you have a higher blood sugar and more energy. Now, any healthy individual generally has a pretty healthy blood sugar. It kind of goes up and down naturally. But due to a lot of environmental factors, such as artificial sweeteners, processed food, stress, work, all these things, you name it, people have become resistant to insulin and their body's blood sugar gets a little off. So instead of having this natural flow throughout the day, it's a lot more lows and then spikes to high and then drops to low. Now, the reason this is a problem is because, one, it makes you really tired and low energy. Two, when you have these really low crashes, you get super hungry, you have the munchies for things like chips, pretzels. I personally like goldfish. All these things that maybe aren't the best way to fuel your body, especially if you're sitting at a desk all day. So if any of those kind of two things describe, you feel like you have really low energy, then really high, and then you crash, or you feel like you're always hungry, or you're not ever satisfied when you eat, that's probably a sign that your blood sugar is not very well managed. So how do we manage our blood sugar as working women sitting at our desk all day? Well, I'm going to break down 3 general tips of how you can better manage your blood sugar. The very first one starts at the beginning of your day, and that is having a well-rounded, good breakfast. Now, I want you to think about this, about the time that you eat your last meal of the day. For me, I generally am done eating by 8 o'clock-ish at night. So I go to bed, I finish eating at 8 o'clock, I wake up around 6 o'clock. My body has not had any food or water for at least 10 hours at this point. Now, generally, when you wake up, your blood sugar is low. You have not put in any food or water into your body for quite some time. So your body has literally been fasting for 10 hours. Hence the word breakfast. It literally means to break the fast. So as us working women, when we're rushing out the door to get to work, a lot of us tend to forget having a good breakfast. Now, this causes an issue with our blood sugar. If we wake up with a really low blood sugar and we don't eat something, then it's gonna hit a couple hours later where our body is like, oh my gosh, why have you not fed me yet? And your blood sugar drops really low. You're already putting yourself at a bad start of the day for your blood sugar. So my tip is either wake up a little bit earlier, make yourself a well-rounded breakfast, and for a lot of us, I know that's really hard to do. We like our sleep. So the next best tip I can give you is to pack a breakfast to eat at your desk or in your cube or in class, wherever you name it, where you're going, eat it there. It is so important to eat a good meal to start out the day. Now, what makes a good breakfast? And this leads me into my next point about maintaining a good blood sugar throughout the day. It's having a well-rounded meal of all your macronutrients, which includes carbs, fat, and protein. So, for each meal, you want to at least have a source of carb, protein, and fat. So, for example, for breakfast, I would have eggs, which are a source of protein and fat, with a bowl of oatmeal, which is a carb. That's just one example. Or you could do eggs and some fruit. Fruit is a carb, just so everyone knows. At lunch, if you have a turkey sandwich, the bread is your carb, the turkey is your protein. Now you need a source of fat. Maybe you could put a slice of cheese on the sandwich. Having this well-rounded meal with all 3 macronutrients helps the carbs enter, your carbs are what kind of controls your blood sugar, enter slower into your bloodstream since the fat and protein are slowing down digestion, making your carbs into your bloodstream slower, which kind of gives you the more even natural flow of up and down. In addition, that sustained energy helps you keep energy all throughout the day. So you don't have those huge crashes where you're like, where are my goldfish, where are my pretzels, where are my chips? You don't need that because you have a natural source of energy all day. Now the third point, which gets into a little more technical, but is very important when it comes to managing your blood sugar, especially if you have like those huge falls and rises of energy, is the glycemic index. Now you're going, Olivia, what the flocka is the glycemic index? Let me tell you. So the glycemic index is essentially a scale for how quickly a carb, so this is your fruits, your potatoes, your pasta, your bread, by itself, if it were to go into your stomach by itself, how quickly it would enter the bloodstream. Now, if you kind of picked up when I talked about eating that well-rounded meal, you want foods that kind of enter your bloodstream slower throughout the day, which give you a more sustained source of energy. So, as you can imagine, the lower glycemic index, the slower it enters your bloodstream. And this is a good thing if you're just managing your food. If your blood sugar is crashing, reach for high glycemic index foods because that will help bring it back up. But if we're managing our blood sugar, we want to reach for those lower glycemic index options when we have the chance. Now, the general kind of ranges, glycemic index of 55 or below is considered a low range. We really want to fill our diet with these sources of carbs if we're struggling to manage our blood sugar. This includes a lot of fruits like apples, berries, some melon, all these great options. The next range from like 55 to 69 is kind of the moderate range. It doesn't have as much of impact as say a high would, but it hits and enters your bloodstream a little faster than the lower. This is going to be kind of our moderate range where some melons kind of fall in this, grapes fall in this, some grains fall in this. I will insert kind of a general guideline or chart that you can refer to of foods with different glycemic index ranges. And then your high is your 69 or above. These are going to be a lot of your processed grains like white bread, pasta, white rice, white potatoes, all these things that are high in carbs but kind of lower in fiber that enter your bloodstream really fast. Now if you eat a meal composed of all these carbs, especially with no protein or fat, your blood sugar is going to rocket up and you're going to feel great, and then it's all going to exit your bloodstream because it went in really fast and then it goes out really fast. So then you're going to hit that low and you're going to be reaching for that junk food. Man, all this talk of goldfish makes me want goldfish. Anyway, so those are the 3 main tips. First, have a good, well-rounded breakfast, whether it's at home or at your desk or in class in the morning. Very important. Gets your blood sugar off to a good start, regulated throughout the day. The next, well-rounded meals, a carb, a protein, and a fat at every meal. That will help regulate it out, give you sustained energy throughout the day, and it kind of slows down, those other 2 slow down the carbohydrates into your bloodstream. And the third is referencing the glycemic index. If you're really having trouble, these first 2 aren't helping a whole lot, utilize those lower glycemic index foods that enter your bloodstream slower to manage your blood sugar. So I hope you learned something from this. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe below so you don't miss another #LessonsWithLiv. Have a great day, all my working women.